Hey guys, I'm gonna show you how I created this Galentine's inspired masterpiece from this old content cake that I had stored in the freezer for literally years. Like years. Look at it. So basically right here, I'm starting with a crumb coat. This buttercream is from actual cakes that I just had left over and collected over time. And it's mixed with margarine-based buttercream that you can also use for practice over and over again because nobody's eating this. Let's see. Smooth that out. Fill in those holes there from what we scraped off. Scrape. Fill it in. Scrape it again. Fill in. Do this over and over until everything is smooth for the most part, but since it's not a real cake, I'm not going to go too crazy. I just want it to be a good base because you've seen what it started out to be first. Not good. It had dents in it, crazy looking, beat up, mangled. But we're going to turn it into basically a nice smooth surface so we can get started with the design, like here. This top actually came out better than I expected because it was a huge lopsided dent on the top. So the fact that I didn't have to put too much effort into this part was great because who got time for that? Well, I had time. I had all day to do this. But I still didn't have time, nor did I want to spend a lot of time on this. Okay, elbow. All right. This part you definitely want to slow down and make sure you can get like a smooth surface. Don't go too fast. Okay, so we're finished smoothing. Alrighty. Now at this point, we're going to measure around the cake with this acetate paper. People are using these to create the marble effect. I know there's different ways to do the marble effect, but I feel like this one, or this way rather, is more effective. So I just wanted to try it out for the first time. But I actually made a mistake. So right here, it fits completely like how it's supposed to fit. But then later on, you'll see that I had a little space in there. But I actually fixed it, so it came out well. So to avoid that mistake, you want to cut off more than you actually need. So maybe about an inch or two, because the buttercream is definitely going to take up some of that space and it's going to be off. You'll definitely see what I'm talking about a little later on in this video. Now right here is where we do the fun part. We get to take any shade of coloring that you want, plop it on the paper, spread it out, do lines, do any type of technique that you think that is going to create the best marble effect that you want. It's literally all up to you, which is the best part. And it's going to come out how it's going to come out. Spread it out, but not too much because you don't want to mix it in too much. You want to create those lines in the marble effect, or they call it the veins in the marble effect. Okay, it's looking good. Make sure all the acetate paper is covered. Right now I was filling it in because I had a little missing at the bottom. So just pick it up carefully, move your cake over. Wrap it around the cake. And it's also good to have that little hangage at the top so you can scrape that off later. Press it down gently. Make sure there's no air bubbles in it because I had some. And press those out really gently. And now here's where we have the gap that I mentioned earlier. Just fill it in with buttercream. It's okay. Now it's time for the fridge. And back again with the chilled cake. Scrape that off. The part that we had to fill in. And carefully peel it off. And it's so cute. Ooh. I love how it came out. Oop, that little piece that I got to fill in. Smooth it with a hot scraper. Slowly and carefully. Some of it may peel up a little bit, but just go over it again, fill it in, and then go over it again with the hot scraper. And just keep doing this until you get your desired effect that you like. This is where people usually go crazy and keep scraping and scraping and scraping. You say one more scrape, and that ain't one more scrape. It's 10 more scrapes. See? Filling in again. Look. Alright, this is the last one. Nope. Okay, last one. Scrape off that top. And one more scrape, like I said. Looking good. Ooh, now for the bottom, I just mixed in whatever buttercream that I had left over till it looked like a shade that wasn't in the marble effect, so it wouldn't clash with the colors that's in the marble buttercream, if that makes sense. And it really came out nice. I like that shade of pink. This part you go around and around, fill it in, make sure everything is even for the most part, because it's not really a perfect way to make this cake. The beauty is in all the error, or what you think is an error but is really not an error. That's why I love this design. So So now what I do is clean off the board basically, and you want to do this slowly. I usually wrap a paper towel around my offset spatula and go around with it slowly until the board is clean. And now for the final touches, I'm using a rhinestone border, and I'm just measuring it as you go along because you don't want to waste any. You don't have to tap in too hard, just lightly press it in and it'll stick. Cut it, and it was perfect. It overlapped a little bit, but you can't really tell. Clean it off. Now is where I'm finding what I want to be the back of my cake and finding my front face, which is the best side. So this would mainly be my back. And you start in the back and go around and around with that rope border that is basically trending for a while now. And I love that little hole right there, that little white hole. It's so cute. Here I had enough buttercream for another little makeshift rope border, but not really a rope border. I just wanted to use up all that buttercream in the center. Did some like star drops. And use it all up. Because nobody's going to see the top. Like I said, this is not a real cake, so it doesn't really matter. Now we have our final look. I'm so happy with how it turned out. Let me know if you guys tried this or have any questions or concerns. Leave them down in the comment box below. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching.